So please join me now in showing how we welcome guests in Australia and how grateful we all are to have His Majesty in our country. Please welcome His Majesty.
Premier and Mrs. Minns, Deputy Premier and Mr. Hull, and Matthew Doyle, if I may say so, for the moving welcome onto the beautiful lands of the Darug, people on which we're gathered today. So thank you very much for that very kind introduction. I knew I should have brought the egg timer along with me, just to check that I didn't go on for too long. But having visited Western Sydney on a number of occasions over more than 50 years now, from Liverpool to Richmond, it is always a particular pleasure to return to the neighbourhood. And that is why, if I may say so, I am so delighted to be here in Parramatta, an excellent choice for a community barbecue, since Parramatta was a place where First Nations people from around the region also came together for generations to meet and trade food. So it's a particular delight to see and smell all the top tucker here today from Western Sydney's vibrant and diverse community. Ever since I first came to Australia, very nearly, can you believe this, 60 years ago, to attend school in Geelong, and also to hack my way through the bush country around Mansfield in Victoria, the generous spirit of Australians has always made me feel welcome, and that is true again today. So my wife and I are really glad to be back in Sydney, but especially pleased to be here in Parramatta for the first time. It is also a great joy to renew my long association with the Royal Agricultural Society of New South Wales, which for more than 200 years has carried out such outstanding work to champion the farming community and the production of the highest quality produce. As we are happily rediscovering today, New South Wales farmers continue to produce truly outstanding food and wine. It is no wonder, I think, that Sydney is world famous for its cuisine, whether it's smashed avo, a pav or a cab sav, and that is what I hope has been on display. Now, ever since God almighty, they've done 2 pages of this bloody thing, right? Anyway, I must say it is a real pleasure to have this chance to try this produce, but also crucially to meet the people who make it happen, working tirelessly in all seasons and all weathers, and developing an intimate understanding of the importance of caring for nature and making it part and parcel of their endeavours. So being here in Western Sydney also gives me an opportunity to see at first hand what I've heard about before, and that is that Parramatta and the region around it has become one of the most dynamic, enterprising, and culturally diverse communities in the world. And I just want to particularly acknowledge the community leaders and volunteers who are here today and who contribute so much to Western Sydney and beyond. As I said when I was in Australia back in 2012, our volunteers are the glue which holds together such a diverse, energetic and determined society. I always have the greatest admiration for them and the wonderful work they do for their communities. So thank you everyone for coming to join us at this barbie today, and more particularly, thank you for the contribution you make to your local communities and beyond. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. There we are.
All right, so the King's speech there at this barbecue in Parramatta. Always has his sense of humour as he lost his page there, but took it in his stride, didn't he? It's a multicultural barbecue event is what it's been described. Had all sorts of Local produce, we had there the traditional sausage sanger, as it's described as. There was also a Vietnamese and Mediterranean one. And I've been told by our reporter, Julia Bradley, on the ground, the Vietnamese one, similar to a banh mi. So that sounds pretty good. We'll get some pictures of all that happened there. There was the sheepdog demonstration as well. We've got with us at the moment, well, I should say as well, this Royal Tour continues. We're going to see in a moment the King and Queen depart. They've got several more events. It's a pretty fast pace, and they will be at the Sydney Opera House later on today, that iconic Australian